What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be taking a look at the iJust NexGen. So we are here to talk about the latest and greatest from our friends over at Eleaf. This is the iJust NexGen, and I was super excited when I got this thing in because I really don't get enough of a chance to check out these little simple starter kits, and for what it is, this thing is absolutely amazing. I was really surprised by its performance and how easy it was to set up, so I've been seeing a lot of these little starter kit type devices that are going to be really great for people that want something that's cheap but also want cloud. So if you're that type of person, then make sure you pay attention. So before we get into this video, I do have to state my intent by saying that I did receive this product for free from the manufacturer for the purpose of doing this video. However, it has no monetary value to me, which means my opinions on it will remain honest and unbiased, of course, as always. So with that being said, I would like to also give a huge shout out and thank you to the people over at Eleaf for sending this my way. Really do appreciate the opportunity to take a look at your products. So let's start off this review with the basics. What colors does this thing come in? Well, according to the box, it says silver, gray, blue, black, white, and red. And yeah, pretty basic colors, pretty neutral colors. As you can see here, I got the silver one. Nothing really too fancy there, but I wish they would have thought a little bit more outside the box and came up with something a bit flashier, a bit fancier. I've just been seeing a lot of cool colors from the Me One and the Smokestick V8 and the AIO. All of those guys just launched a whole bunch of new colors, and they're a little bit, kind of flashier, kind of fancier. I know that doesn't really make a difference as far as performance-wise, but I don't know, I'm just kind of getting sick of the standard same old stuff. So this device is going to set you back about 33 bucks online, which is definitely a good deal if you ask me. This is definitely the device for someone just looking to pick up maybe a secondary mod, or for the beginner that wants to blow some clouds but doesn't want to spend a whole heck of a lot of money or be bothered with the rigmarole of the whole batteries and charger situation or anything like that. Very simple, easy to use, throw it together, put some juice in it, and you're good to go type of device right here. And I can definitely appreciate that fact. So without further ado, let's go down to the close-up view and take a better look at this thing. All right, guys, so as you can see here, we have our Eleaf iJust NexGen in its original box, so let's quickly take a look around the packaging, and then we'll take a look at what's inside. So, nice picture of the device itself on the front here with Eleaf iJust NexGen, next generation at the bottom, and pretty standard stuff around the rest of the box. Eleaf logos everywhere. You got your color indicator here. As you can see, mine is silver, but there's also black, white, red, gray, and blue options available. Eleaf once again, and on the back, just your basic information. Nothing you haven't seen a million times before on pretty much every other device that's out there on the market. Your contents and a few features, and that's about it, to be honest with you guys. So let's take the cover off here and see what we got inside. There she is, the Eleaf iJust NexGen. You get a little thing here, a little warning card. Pretty standard stuff, but then again, I feel like that should probably be covered in the original owner's manual instead of having to put that little leaflet in there. It should be common sense at this point to fill your tank when it gets dry. But here's the device itself in all its glory. And you also get a glass piece, an extra glass with it as well. And underneath here, we have all the spare parts. It does come with 2 coils, one pre-installed in the device and one spare 0.2 ohm atomizer head. And this is the HW coil, I believe it's called. Yeah, so here you can see a bunch of extra parts, normal stuff that you get in pretty much everything, and a micro USB cable. I'm going to start a collection of these things to see exactly how many I have, because pretty much all the devices I own have come with one, and I must have 1,000 of them by now. But we have our user manual here. Covers the basic topics. It's a little bit wordy, some charts and graphs and stuff like that. But yeah, you get the gist of this thing. It's a pretty basic starter kit. Alright guys, so let's just go from top to bottom and talk about some of the specifics about this device, starting with the drip tip. This is a Delrin lined metal drip tip here, so it does not get hot. It is fairly heat resistant, but I tend to favor the full acrylic or full Delrin tips personally, but hey, that's just me. Maybe you guys might be different out there, but there you go. You can see the bore on that, which is pretty much as big as it can be for this size device here. You can see the bore on the inside of the chimney section there as well. Pretty nice and wide. One of my favorite features about this device is the slide open top fill. Probably the best one I've seen so far. It's got a nice wide mouth kind of opening here for you to fill it up with liquid, and let me tell you, this thing is super easy to fill. I've stated time and time again that I feel like every single modern tank should have this style filling system because it is ridiculously easy to fill it up and it's just so simple. So there you go. The overall width on this thing, by the way, is 24.5 millimeters, just in case any of you were concerned about that. But taking off this top cap section here, you can see the tank itself. This is a 2 mil tank, and I believe that's to be TPD compliant, but I could be wrong. In either case, there is a 4 mil extension tube, though I haven't seen it available anywhere. I'm going to have to track it down. If I do find it, I'll put a link in the description, but you can see the rubber O-rings on here fit real nice, very nice and snug. So here you can see the close-up of the HW coil by Eleaf. These are 0.2 ohms in resistance, and it's recommended 40 to 80 watts, which is perfect because this device puts out a constant 50 watt, which is pretty darn cool. So there you go. Hopefully you guys can see in that. Obviously this one is used. I've been using this one for a couple of weeks now, and it's holding up really, really nicely. So here's the airflow control. Nice wide open airflow, really no problems there whatsoever. You get a good deep lung inhale off of this thing. However, it doesn't really restrict tight enough down to take a mouth to lung hit off of it, but we'll get into that in a little bit here. So to charge it, USB, obviously, since it came with the USB cable. Pretty self-explanatory at this point. You have a little LED below that that shows whether or not it's charging. When the red light is on, it is charging. When it's off, it is done. So then on the other side here, you have your button, single button operation. It feels pretty decent. It is a little bit wiggly, I guess, but I guess I can kind of forgive that. But it does have an LED in there, so to turn this device on, 5 clicks. And the LED will flash. This will also turn yellow and red depending on your charge level. So there we go. So that's pretty much all the pertinent information you have to know about the iJust NexGen. Let's go back to the main screen, have a quick vape on this thing, and we'll talk about it some more. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the close-up section of the video. Now let's talk about my personal thoughts about this device, some pros, some cons, and whether or not it's worth purchasing. Starting off today with the pros, and my first pro is that it's simple and easy to use. This device is perfect for the beginner vapor that wants some cloud production. They want good vapor production, they want good flavor for a decent price and not a lot of hassle. Then the Eleaf iJust NexGen is definitely going to be for you. I mean, this thing, it takes a matter of a couple minutes to set up, and I literally opened up the box, ripped it open, primed up the coil, threw some juice in the tank, and turned it on, and it was good to go. So for maybe a 2-minute easy setup, I feel like this device is absolutely perfect for pretty much any skill level of vapor. My second pro today is that it's sturdy and well built. This thing feels very solid. Now, I've been selling Eleaf products at my shop that I work at for a very long time, and I'm kind of used to their kind of track record as far as quality is concerned. And let's just say it's spotted at best, but this device here feels pretty much the beefiest and sturdiest out of anything that I've ever held by Eleaf in the past, and that's even comparing it to some of the box mods they make and everything else. This thing feels really good in the hand. It feels like it's made out of high quality materials, and it feels like it's built to last. The only thing that kind of concerns me a little bit is the glass on the tank. I'm not sure the quality of the glass in the tank. I mean, when I took it off to clean it, I did kind of fumble it a little bit and it fell onto the countertop. It didn't chip, it didn't break or anything like that, but it definitely didn't feel as solid as it possibly could be, I guess, if that makes sense to you guys out there. But overall, I would say I'm very happy with the quality of this thing. For my third pro today, the battery lasts a very long time. This thing boasts a 3000 milliamp hour built-in battery, and it also supports pass-through if you wanted to use that feature, which is kind of nice because it definitely passes my long drive test impressed. It lasted me easily an hour and a half in both directions. It lasted the whole time and then some. I got pretty much the whole rest of the day out of it after that trip. So very, very impressed with the battery life on this thing. For my 4th Pro today, I absolutely love the slide open top cap feature. That is by far my favorite thing about this device. In fact, I feel like this device in particular has the best version of it, since they open up that little mouth a little bit more so you can fit your glass bottle drippers in there no problem. So I think this thing, in my opinion, is my favorite device to refill. It's the easiest to refill for sure, and I feel like a lot of people are going to appreciate that, and I just feel like that should be industry standard from here on out. Everyone should be doing this because it is absolutely genius. So for my 5th and final Pro, this thing is a powerful little sucker. I mean, really, I would not have expected a built-in internal battery device to have this much power. This thing puts out 50 watts, and I am very impressed by that. The lowest resistance possible for the coils in here is 0.15, although I'm pretty sure the only coils that are available for it right now are the 0.2s. But anyways, the vapor production that I get off of it is fantastic. I get really good flavor with the coils, and I'm just all around very impressed by this device. Alright guys, so moving on to some cons. My first con is the 2 ml juice capacity. Unfortunately, this thing is limited to 2 mils of liquid inside this tank, and that's pretty unfortunate because otherwise I feel like it's a stellar device. I believe they did that to be TPD compliant to sell it over in Europe. Obviously, they have the regulations going into effect, which means they have a cap of 2 mils inside the tank for any open system. So with that kind of sucks for anyone buying it over in the US. However, they do have a 4 mil extension tube available, but like I said in the close-ups, I haven't been able to find that yet, but if I do, I'll search around a little bit and I'll put it in the description below. For my second con today, the protruding button can sometimes be pressed and activated when it's in your pocket or your vape bag or whatever, and yeah, that's kind of a big thing for me because I really like a nice safe device, and you can kind of tell they added a little bit of shielding or a housing around the actual button itself, but in my personal opinion, I don't think it was quite enough to make it perfectly safe because I turned it off and threw it in my vape bag to go home. When I got home, I went to use it and it was already on. So that kind of worried me a little bit about this thing here. And you know, you really don't want to have a device go off in your pocket mysteriously because that could really suck. I mean, there are built-in safety precautions and all that stuff, but as far as the coil is concerned, that's a whole other story. You're probably going to end up burning through a coil like that. So for my third and final con, it's a very much personal and subjective matter, which is that it comes with this metal tip. And I tried my best to use it. I really wanted to use this device as is right out of the box, but I couldn't stand it. I absolutely hated it. I've just seen so many other devices on the market come out recently that came with a Delrin tip. I just wish they would have done the same thing. In fact, if you look on the box, it even has a little Delrin tip right there. Definitely doesn't look like that when you all put it together straight out of the box. But in any case, yeah, that's a very much subjective thing for me. I'm sure a lot of you guys out there wouldn't care about that, but I just threw a Half Moon Mods tip on there and I got it running just fine. So would I go out of my way to purchase one of these things if I didn't get this one for review? And my answer would be surprisingly yes. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, it wouldn't be the first one on my list when thinking about getting a new device. But then again, if I saw any review that was as glowing as this one, I would have to pick myself up one of these things here, especially for the price point. You really can't go wrong. For all you cloud guys out there, this is the perfect pocket-sized companion to your 200-watt big bulky box mod. If you don't want to be carrying that thing around all day, then this thing is great for on-the-go vaping. Honestly, I could definitely see myself using this one far into the future. I really enjoy this device for taking out on errands and short trips and things like that. For driving in the car, it's perfect, and I gotta say, very surprised by the performance in a very positive way. So definitely go out and pick yourself up the Eleaf iJust NexGen. I will, of course, have links down there in the description if you guys want to pick one of these up for yourself. So that about does it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Don't forget you can click that notification bell right next to the subscribe button if you want to be alerted whenever I upload videos. Also, leave me some comments in the box below. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this device. Anything you guys want to talk about, I'm all ears. Just leave it down there in the box below. Also, in the description, I've got the advocacy and my social media links. Check me out on all my different pages. Also, I've got t-shirts available now if you guys want one. Just click the link in the box below and you can get yourself some Daily Vape TV swag. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and as always, vape on!